guys, it's Emily Jean. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing probably the most requested video on my channel. I get DMs about this all the time on Instagram. So today we're keeping it very simple. I'm going to do my everyday foundation routine, something that I probably do every single time I do my makeup. Not much has changed. The only thing that really changes are the products I use, but the same type of method, technique, all that stuff pretty much stays the same. I want to apologize, my bed is totally not made in the background, so just ignore that. And we also have a lovely visitor today, but that's great because I'm going to show you a little trick on how I like to cover some bigger spots. So we are just going to do my full foundation routine. I'm going to talk through it a little bit, but nothing too crazy. I'm going to try and keep this as simple and straightforward as possible. So you do not have to use these exact products. It's more the technique in the order and just how you apply rather than the products. So whatever you have at home should totally work. Of course, everyone's skin is a little bit different. So this is just my foundation routine. I've probably been doing this for at least the past year. This has been my go-to routine every time I do my makeup. I throw my hair back really fast. I cannot do my makeup with hair in my face. I can't even watch people do their makeup with hair in their face. Drives me crazy. Okay, so the first step in your foundation routine or in your makeup routine in general is of course what comes before that, which is your skincare. Your skincare is so important. And actually, I just filmed a skincare routine literally like 5 minutes ago. So hopefully that will be up first. I don't know which one will be up first, but if that one's up, I'll link it down below. Make sure it's always moisturized. Even if you have oily skin, you should always be moisturizing your skin daily, morning and night. The first step is primer, and primer is such a hard product because there's so many different types of primers, and that's really depending on your skin. So I have pretty dry skin, so I always love using a hydrating primer. This is the Hangover RX. This is probably one of my hands down favorite primers. Also love a pore filling primer, and this is probably one of my favorites. I also love the Benefit Professional, so if you guys have that. I also love the Maybelline Baby Skin, so that's from the drugstore. But any type of pore minimizing or pore filling primer I love before my foundation, especially on my cheeks. I do have bigger pores right here, any little acne scars that are kind of more drawn to look like a pore. I don't always use both. My skin's feeling very good right now because I just did my whole routine and I also applied my serum. So I'm just gonna go in with the pore filling primer today because I'm feeling pretty hydrated. So I just like taking a pea size amount. Sometimes the less the better with this stuff. And then I just press it right into my skin. So next, of course, is foundation. Again, another personal preference. I'm sure a lot of you already have your favorite foundation or something that you use all the time. I recently reviewed and picked up the Tarte Shape Tape Foundation. I got the matte and the hydrating formula. If you guys want to check out that video, it will be down below. But I really fell in love with the hydrating one. Just currently, this is what I'm loving. So I'm going to apply this. I'll link a bunch of my other favorite foundations down below for you guys if you want to find something more affordable or just a different type of formula. So I just swipe this on everywhere. Then, like I said, my favorite application process is the beauty sponge. This one's from Real Techniques. Always been my favorite. I use it all day, every day. So for this, you want to dab in. You watch my motions. I'm dabbing. Do not swipe or drag the foundation. I'm gonna press into your skin. And also, everyone's a little bit different with this, but I do love taking my foundation all over my face, of course. I blend it up to my ears, down my neck, just because my coloring can be off quite often. And then I also apply it on my eyelids. Some people like keeping their eyelids blank. I like applying my foundation everywhere just to give me a completely clean slate and just a really blank canvas to work on. Love this foundation. I feel like it's such a natural but still high coverage foundation. So now moving on to concealer, I'm sure you can guess what I'm going to be using. My Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and it does go with the foundation, but I've loved this concealer since I bought it, since it came out probably about a year ago. Today I'm going to be using Light Sand. Oh, and by the way, my foundation shade was Light Medium Beige. I do have a little bit of fake tan on, so this is a little dark for me. But I do like keeping my foundation and face a little bit more tan. Anyways, I'm using Light Sand for concealer, and let's start off with just the basics of concealer. I like to apply this under my eyes and in a triangle shape. Nothing too crazy, but I do like kind of keeping that triangle shape. Definitely on my inner corner because that's where I'm really dark. I always apply a little on my eyelids to prime them. Cupid's bow, chin, and forehead for my natural highlights, and then again going back in with my beauty sponge and blending this all out. So again, this concealer is very, very high coverage, definitely not everyone's cup of tea, so I will be linking other concealers that I love down below from the drugstore, something that's a little more everyday, less high coverage, but I'm just a makeup girl, so I love the high coverage finish. Since we have a little visitor, you can still see him peeking through a little bit. Every day to day, I usually don't cover stuff up like that just because I don't really mind. But if I was going to something a little more important or for a shoot, I would want to make sure some bigger blemishes are completely covered. So my trick with that, I'm going to be taking my NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. Any type of concealer that's more in this pot form usually has a little bit more pigment and just high coverage because it is in that cream little form. So what I like to do is take some type of smaller brush. Let's take this flat brush today. It doesn't really matter what you use. You can use your finger too, but I have my big nails on, so we cannot do that today. So I'm going to take quite a bit of that and place it right over my spot. And this you want to try and get as close to your foundation shade as possible. Mine's a little bit too yellow right now, but you definitely don't want it lighter because then it would just stand out more. Okay, I think those are the only two. Let's take more of a duo fiber brush like this, and I like to blend around, but not on top of. So you just kind of blend out the sides, but then keep that concealer fully covering the actual spot, if that makes any sense. And because these are some spots, I'm going to go right in with my powder. I'll talk about this in a second, but I'm just going to take that same brush and set over that right away. Okay, so now actually for setting the face, I'm going to take my Maybelline Fit Me powder. I've been on a kick with this. I know my Coty Airspun, I still use it all the time, but I have been on a kick with this recently because of Nikki tutorials. So this is the Maybelline Fit Me finishing powder in the shade Fair Light 10. I do like this powder because it does have more of like a pigmented shade. Obviously they have different shades. So I'm going to tap this into the cap. I really love loose powders for setting concealers and wet foundations because I feel like it sets it more seamlessly. So I'm going to go in and tap out my concealer that might have creased. And then I like to go directly in. This is a newer technique in makeup. Go directly in to the powder with my sponge, coat it well, and press under the eyes. What I like to do is I let this sit for a little bit, not baking, nothing crazy like 10 minutes, but a few seconds, kind of let it sit there for a moment, and then I like to dust it away, but when I dust it away, I kind of take it to the rest of my face. So I'll use the excess to set the rest of my face. Okay, so this is pretty much the base of our face, but I am gonna go on to contour and blush and highlight and the rest products that you put on your face just because I feel like that's part of a foundation routine as well. So recently for contour and bronzing, I love using a palette just because I can kind of mix around tones and use different colors. I've been obsessed with the Park Ave Princess palette from Tarte. So it comes with 4 bronzing shades and 2 highlighting shades. I love this because you have a deeper tone, you have more of an orange bronzy tone, some cooler tones for contouring, and some brightening powders which I'll use under my eyes when needed for more glam makeup. Favorite contour brushes. This is the cheek brush from Real Techniques, and I just kind of mix these 2 grayer tones. Go in there, And I start from my ear and kind of bronze, kind of keep it pretty simple for every day. Just go right in and then really blend it out. And I love these powders because they're so easy to blend out. So you can really make them super intense, or you can use them kind of more every day like I am here. Here to the corner of your mouth, and you always want to blend upward so nothing goes lower than here, because then you're defeating the purpose of creating shadow. The little kids next door are playing outside. And normally like they'll just walk in my house and come say hi. So I just keep looking outside because I see them. Then I'm going to take a little bit more of those powders, and I do go down the sides of my nose. I do this pretty lightly just to kind of make sure. It's not that I want to contour my nose, but because I'm putting contour on the sides of my face, I feel like you need to add these colors and warmth to other parts of your face. So it's not just like boom, a bunch on your cheeks and then the rest of your face is just plain. So I also like to take this into my hairline and temples. If you do have a larger forehead, the more you put on your temples and the more you put up here, the smaller your forehead will appear. And then of course I like to take this on my jawline and under my chin to really define that feature of my face. And again, just to keep this fluid, uniform contouring and bronzing. On to blush. This is probably one of my favorite parts of my makeup because I just love adding that color back into your skin. I feel like this just makes us come back to life after we apply all that makeup to our face. Taking another palette. This is my Tarte blush palette from the holiday collection. These are all Amazonian clay blushes, probably my favorite formula ever. So you can buy these individual. They may still sell this. It was a holiday collection. They have one every year. But again, use what you have. This is just more about the technique. I'm going to mix these two shades. They're kind of a mauve-y, pinky shades. I love more of like a neutral, natural pink every day. And I love a matte blush because then I can go in and add highlight. So I'm just going to apply this to my brush, tap off the excess, smile, and you want to apply it right to the apples of your cheeks. Then once you apply it to the apples of your cheeks, you want to kind of bring it back towards your contour and blend it into your contour so it's all very seamless. I love applying blush on my nose. I feel like it just makes you look very sun-kissed and youthful. I just love adding that color back into your skin. This is technically for our eyes, but I am going to take that brush we used earlier to blend out the concealer. I'm going to go into those highlighting shades in my contour palette and just set my eyelids to just give them a fresh looking finish. Just last steps we have is highlighter. I'm going to take this little highlighting tapered brush. This is something I got off Showpo. It's like a fashion boutique, but I bought a brush set. I'll link that down below as well. You guys always ask where I get my light pink brushes. They're nothing amazing, but they're also not bad either, so I'll link that set down below. Mary Luminizer by The Balm. This is a very iconic highlighter, just the perfect light champagne everyday shade. They do make other shades if you have a darker skin tone, but I'm going to take this on my tapered brush. I apply it to the tip of my nose, which not everyone loves, but I love that little glow. Down the bridge of my nose, on my cupid's bow a little bit. And then on the high points of my cheeks. This is definitely more of an intense blinding highlight, but I just love it. It's so pretty. It's intense, but I feel like it's natural all at the same time. So I think the last step as far as our face goes is a setting spray. Recently I've been stuck on the Too Faced Hangover RX setting spray. Okay, so I'm gonna finish up my makeup and then I'll be right back to wrap up this video. Go in there, say hi. Hi. I was telling them that I heard you guys outside because I was sitting here and I heard you guys riding your scooters. And I was filming, so I told them.
Everyone has a bike.
I did see you. I do.
Do they ever come off?
Yeah, you can take them off. Oh, you'll like that blush.
Smells.
Smells
like she got one on. Yeah, because Daddy said he was gonna play basketball with me. Where's Harry?
I don't know. I think he's downstairs.
Did you take on Drew bed?
He's not under my bed. There's clothes under there. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this video. I just finished up my makeup so you guys can kind of see what it looks like completely. I just applied some lip gloss, eyeliner, and brows and mascara, so very simple, but I love this foundation routine. I really feel like it lasts all day long. It really gets rid of all the imperfections. I can do this every day within like 15 minutes, less than that if I'm really rushing. So yeah, this is the completed look, and I hope you guys enjoyed learning a little bit more in-depth, kind of simple ways to do your foundation routine. So yeah, that is the completed look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.